Hi there. In this video we'll be covering, can self-published books make money? They certainly can if you follow the right steps. By the end of this video you will learn the revenue opportunities from publishing a book and some of the factors that can create even more revenue opportunities. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. There's an age-old debate in book publishing, whether you want to publish traditionally or whether you want to self-publish. There's cachet and prestige that comes with traditional publishing. But at the same time, you could leave so many revenue opportunities on the table. You could actually make more money from self-publishing than you can from traditionally publishing in a lot of cases. Yes, it can be nice to have a traditional publisher promote your book and give it the widest possible visibility. But at the same time, there's so many more revenue opportunities from self-published books. And among the books that I've written or ghostwritten, the ones that have generated the most money, the most revenue, have been self-published books, not traditionally published books. There's a couple factors at play when thinking about whether your book is a revenue driver and whether there's opportunity to make money. One is you really need to figure out what the value add is, what the takeaway is, what the next step is for the reader. Your book is the opening of the opportunity. It's the opening of a conversation. You know, the relationship begins with the book. Where does it go? You know, if you offer high-cost coaching or support services, you can definitely connect that to your book. You can, take a book, get somebody interested in working with you, and then have them collaborate with you and work with you and pay you money. If you have these high-value offerings to take somebody from the book, get them excited to work with you, and help them take that next step. There's other books that don't have that kind of revenue potential. And it's ultimately important to think about what revenue potential does exist for a book. Maybe it's public speeches. Maybe you want to be a thought leader and give speeches to different groups. That's an opportunity. Speeches can generate tens of thousands of dollars per speech. So think about if you're doing 5, 10 speeches a year, that's some really significant revenue. And what could come from those speeches? Maybe it's people wanting to work with you. So there's so many different doors that could open from the book beginning the conversation. The topic of your book is going to help dictate what kind of return, what kind of opportunities exist for revenue down the road. If you were thinking about writing a book about, fly fishing and like special flies to make, that's a lower cost kind of operation. There could be opportunity there, don't get me wrong. And if that's what your topic is, great. But those are typically less expensive. When you're thinking about tens of thousands of dollars or $100,000 support services or coaching services, and you can get one customer, one client to pay that, there's the opportunity there. With those other lower cost offerings and lower cost topics, you need headcount. You need more and more people. You need a bunch of people. It's quality or quantity. And if it's quantity and it's a lower cost service, but it's quantity, you really need to think about selling lots and lots and lots, bulk. And books are similar in a way. Books are similar in a way because a lot of times when somebody publishes a book, they think about the revenue opportunity from the book sold, which is not something to sneeze at. There are opportunities to make revenue from books sold, but if you're only making $5, $6, $10, $12 per book sold, you need to sell a lot of copies in order to make a lot of money. Whereas you could find one client, you could find 1 or 2 customers to pay that. 1 or 2 customers could cover that entire thing if you're offering higher value services. Ultimately, your ability to drive revenue and opportunities from the book to other things is a reflection of the strength of your sales funnel. You want to be able to drive people somewhere and have them do something, take that next step. You want to have a strong call to action in the book. And the goal with the call to action is to get the reader to go from the book to that next step. What do you want that next step for them to be? The stronger your sales funnel, the stronger your ability to take somebody to that next thing, whether it's your website or something else, and to have them sign up for you, have a meeting with you, become a client of yours, something along those lines. You really need to have a strong funnel in place. The stronger your funnel, the more likely it is that you're going to be able to capture those leads and turn them into clients, to convert them. So you really need to be able to convert those leads, and the more leads that you can convert, the higher percentage of leads that you can convert, the easier it's going to be to turn this book into a revenue opportunity. You know, if you have lots and lots of leads, but the conversion rate's very low, it's going to be harder to drive revenue. There's so much opportunity that comes with self-publishing. You know I touched on it briefly about the traditional versus self-publishing balance earlier. Self-publishing means that you have the control over every step of the process. You control what the title is. You control what the book contains. You control how you sell the book and where you sell the book. You control when it gets published. You control what you do with it afterwards. You know, your book could be a free opportunity for people. It could be something you hand out at speeches. It could be something that you hand to people who visit your business's office. It could be something that you share with friends and relatives. It can be whatever you want it to be, and that's the advantage. That's the opportunity of self-publishing. And with that too, there's no one else that's making money off of it besides you. You're the person, you're the driver, you're the engine, you're everything. You know, with traditional publishing, there's always other people who are making money and having their goals within the book. Your publisher is going to have different expectations. A literary agent, if you work with one, is going to have expectations and goals. Your goals with a self-published book are whatever you want them to be, and that makes for a great opportunity to use a book as a revenue generator, as an engine to get leads and opportunities and to grow your platform and do whatever you want with it, which is such a powerful thing. If you want to learn more about can self-published books make money, schedule a call with me. Head to my website. It's goodghostwriter.com. You can click the link below. You can schedule a one-on-one strategy call with me. I would love to talk and learn more about your story, your message, what you're trying to accomplish, and give you insights and perspectives from my 6+ years of ghostwriting. Most of the books that I've ghostwritten have been self-published. Most of the books I've been involved with have been self-published, and I think there's so much value, so much opportunity in self-publishing, and I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your journey as well. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.